The rain masked the knocking, but not the footprints that led deeper into my home. I was alone, until something let itself in. The rain came down harder than I'd seen in years, thick, cold, and relentless, hammering the windows like impatient fists. My parents had left early that morning for an emergency trip out of town, leaving me alone in the house for the first time overnight. At 17, I figured it'd be peaceful. A night of snacks, horror movies, and silence. I was wrong. By evening, the house had started to feel different. It wasn't just the usual creaks from the wooden floors or the moan of the wind through the vents. It felt like something was inside with me, watching. I tried to shake it off. Thunder boomed. The lights flickered. Then came the knock. It was soft at first, barely audible over the rain. I paused the movie and listened. Another knock. This time louder. I went to the front door, expecting maybe a neighbor, maybe even someone broken down on the road. But no one was there. Only the dark porch, the swinging wind chime, and the sound of water pooling near the steps. I closed the door, locking it, telling myself it was just my imagination. Maybe a branch. Maybe nothing. That's when I noticed something. Wet footprints. Not leading to the door, but away from it. Heading toward the back of the house. My breath caught in my throat. The footprints, bare, human, and soaked, trailed down the hallway, leaving faint impressions on the wooden floor. I followed them with my eyes, not my feet, heart pounding like the thunder outside. They disappeared at the corner near the basement door. I hadn't heard the door open. I hadn't heard it close. But something had come inside. And it hadn't left. Grabbing the fireplace poker from the stand, I crept toward the hallway. Each step felt like a scream in the stillness. The rain beat harder, as if trying to drown out the tension. I reached the basement door. It was closed, but the footprints led through it. I pressed my ear to the wood. Silence. Then barely audible, breathing. Wet, slow, labored. Coming from the other side. I didn't open the door. Instead, I backed away, still gripping the poker. I grabbed my phone and dialed my parents. No signal. No Wi-Fi. The storm must have knocked it out. I tried texting my best friend. Anything. The message didn't send. Suddenly, the kitchen light behind me turned on. I hadn't touched it. I spun around. No one. Then the basement door creaked. Not opened. Not slammed. Just creaked. As if it had moved slightly, enough to let something through. I ran to the kitchen, locking the basement door behind me. My heart thudded in my ears. And that's when I saw it. Written on the fogged-up window above the sink with a single finger. You shouldn't be alone tonight. I blinked. The words faded slowly with the condensation. A flash of lightning lit the backyard, and for just a second, a figure stood outside, right beneath the willow tree, staring up at me, and smiling. I backed away from the sink, hand trembling as I clutched the poker like it could protect me from whatever was watching. The figure beneath the willow tree didn't move, just stood there. Rain pouring over him like a shroud, face pale and stretched in an impossible smile. Then the lightning faded, and he was gone. No footsteps. No sound. Just gone. I grabbed every towel I could find, stuffed them under the doors and windows. Locked everything, again. My phone was still dead. The only light came from the flickering candles I'd lit during the outage. I decided to go to my room and wait out the storm. Maybe I'd imagined it all. Maybe the footprints were just water from my shoes. Maybe the writing on the glass was a coincidence. Maybe. My bedroom door was open. I always keep it shut. And on the floor, more footprints. Fresh. Leading in. A slow creak echoed from inside. I wanted to run. But something pulled me forward. Morbid curiosity or fear, I still don't know. Inside, the window was wide open. Rain blew in sideways, soaking the carpet and my bed. The curtains danced wildly in the storm winds. But it wasn't the window that made my knees buckle. It was the photo on my nightstand. A family picture from our last vacation. Me, my parents, my little brother. Only now, someone had scratched out every face but mine. And written underneath in shaky, dripping ink. You're next. The bedroom door slammed behind me. Art. Loud. I turned around, and saw muddy footprints circling the bed. And in the far corner, crouched low, too tall to belong, too still to be alive, was something watching me. The figure didn't move. Just crouched there, long limbs folded unnaturally, as if it had broken itself just to fit into that shadowed corner of my room. Its face was hidden, but I could feel its eyes, digging into me. The candlelight flickered. And for a moment it wasn't crouching. It was crawling. I screamed, lunging for the door, but it wouldn't open. The knob was cold, slick like it had been coated in ice. The thing moved in short jerks, like a puppet with tangled strings. crawling slowly, silently. Then it spoke. Not out loud, but inside my head. A whisper. Low and wet. You invited me in. I pressed myself against the wall, shaking. No, I didn't. I shouted. I didn't let you in. It tilted its head with a sickening crack. You opened the door, you looked. Suddenly my bedroom lights blinked on. And the thing vanished. No footprints. No open window. Nothing. My phone buzzed, one bar. One notification. A video file. From my number. I opened it with trembling hands. It was footage of me, standing in the hallway earlier that night. Frozen. Staring. Smiling. Behind me in the video, just barely visible in the darkness, was a shape. Tall. Twisted. Reaching toward my shoulder. I didn't remember that moment. I didn't remember standing that way. Then the figure in the video, me, turned to the camera. And whispered, "He's coming." The video glitched. My reflection in the bedroom mirror began to move, before I did. And then it smiled at me. Not a scared smile. Not a human smile. A smile that said, "I'm already here." I backed away from the mirror, heart pounding so hard it drowned out the thunder. My reflection didn't follow. It stared back, unmoving, grinning, like it was waiting. Then it blinked. But I didn't. I turned to run and froze. The house had changed. Not physically, but atmospherically. The air was heavy, electric. Like something ancient had awakened. Lights dimmed. Walls groaned. And the sound of rain outside had stopped. Total silence. The kind of silence you only hear inside a grave. I crept toward the hallway. It stretched longer than before. Doors I didn't remember now lined each side. My bedroom door was gone. And at the far end, stood me. No, not me. The thing that wore my face. It raised its hand and pointed behind me. I turned slowly. And there, at the center of the living room, the basement door was open wide. Pitch black inside. A voice drifted up. My voice. "Come see what you let in." Drawn like a moth to fire, I stepped closer. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but my body felt numb. Controlled. Something moved within the darkness. Then emerged. Not a man. Not a ghost. Something older. Skin like drowned paper, face blank except for that smile carved too deep. It carried something in its hands. A mirror. And in it, I saw not myself but an empty room. My house. Quiet. Cold. And a police officer standing over my body weeks later. Taped lines. A body bag. My parents crying. I screamed. Everything shattered. Darkness swallowed me whole. The next morning, my parents found the house untouched. Dry. Still. They never saw footprints. Never heard the voice. But I remember it all. And on rainy nights when the house creaks just right, I still hear him. Waiting. Watching. And whispering. "You're never really alone."